Blessed be everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're talking tarot again and how you can incorporate tarot into your daily practice. I recently did a video about daily practice and my personal daily practice that I do every day, and I do incorporate tarot and oracle cards into that most days. So I thought I'd go into a little bit more detail about how I do that. But before I do, my name is Sandra. I am the author of Crafting Your Wiccan Path. If you want to know more about Wicca, witchcraft, tarot, shadow work, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. If you want to become a better tarot reader, I have a free masterclass. It's called How to Read the Tarot with Ease. There's a link in the description field below this video. And if you want to know where to start your witchcraft practice, but you're just confused about, well, where do I start? There's so much to know. I have a free masterclass for that as well. It is called How to Start Your Witchcraft Practice, and there's a link in the description field below this video for that as well. And you can also go to my website, mysterywitchschool.com, and all of the free masterclasses and PDFs are all there under the free training tab on my website. So you can go there if you can't find it on YouTube. So today I wanted to elaborate a bit more about how you can incorporate tarot into a daily practice. Your daily practice doesn't have to be a long-winded thing, and neither does the tarot component of it. So I don't do the same sort of approach to tarot every day. It really depends on what I need on the day. So one thing that I might do with the tarot is if I've got a problem or a question or something that I feel it'd be great to have the tarot's input, then I will use the tarot to help me with problem solving. So I will focus on the problem and I will ask for guidance. So every morning I'm usually working with a deity. Often it's Hecate, or if not, it'll be another deity, maybe Breed, maybe Cernunnos, Lu, and I'll ask for their assistance to help me with whatever it is that problem I'm trying to solve. And I will usually meditate first and then I pick a card. So I will pick a card, and then when I pick one, I will always go and attempt to notice what's the first thing about this card that I'm drawn to. What is it that's grabbing my attention in this card? Now, recently, I did just that and I got the Tower. So what I looked at when it came to the Tower card, when I first looked at it, I was drawn to the lightning bolt, actually. And I'm not often drawn to that first. I think because the Tower itself is in the center, often we're drawn to whatever's in the center. And the lightning bolt, not so much. But in this case, I was drawn to the lightning bolt. And to me, the answer to that question was, you need to be the lightning bolt, or take a lightning bolt to this false structure, which, given the situation, was to do with my thinking and my beliefs around something and my perception of something. So I needed to take a lightning bolt and just blast what's false, what's not true, so that I can get to the core of what is true. So that would be how I would approach a card like the Tower, for example. If it's a more positive card, one that I would like to maybe embody, like say the Magician, for example, I might, instead of just looking at the Magician, what I first notice about him, I might actually just meditate on the card and imagine that he's actually coming towards me and that there's some energy radiating from the card toward me, so that I start to embody the energy of the card. So I'm working with it more vibrationally to embody that energy of the Magician, so that I can feel into what would the Magician do in this circumstance. You know, what would the Magician do? As the Magician, what would I do? And so I take the energy of the card and allow that to enter, I guess, into my energy field and become the Magician. And with that becoming the archetype of the Magician, which is really just resonating with my own inner magician or witch, it helps me step back into my power as a magical creator and realize, well, what I need to do is figure out really just what I want as the solution to the problem. What do I want as the result? What outcome do I want? Because that is where the solution is going to be. It's going to be, the magical solution will be in the outcome. So focus on the outcome, focus on what it is that I want, and the solution and all of the other things will come. So that's how it would come if I was working with the magician in that circumstance. Another way that I would work with the tarot would be to ask a question of, well, what do I need to know today? What do I need to be aware of today? So I might not have anything particular that I want to ask the tarot. I just want to know how this day is going to be as a part of my growth, as a part of my learning, for example. And so whatever card pops up, I will do the same thing. I will notice an aspect of that card and then use my intuition to interpret what that might mean throughout the day. Or I might even, again, embody the energy of that card if it is a card that I actually want to embody the energy of. For example, maybe it's a High Priestess card or the Empress card or the Emperor or something like that. So I can use it to just go, well, what do I need to know today? And then I can focus on whatever that is during the day. So for example, if it is the Emperor, it could be, well, I need to know something about structure, maybe standing in my power, standing in my Emperor energy. That might be what it means. It might mean that I need to stand firm on something. I need to take charge of something. I need to be in that energy, that masculine energy today in that way, and be aware of that and embody that energy. Allow myself to, once again, see the energy of the Emperor and of the card radiating out towards me, and me taking on some of those qualities of the Emperor as I use the card symbolism to bring my inner Emperor out within myself. Number 3, when I do meditation, I may have a breakthrough or an idea of something. If I'm doing shadow work and I'm working with Hecate, and I might do some tapping, then I do some meditation, inevitably something will come up. If I ask Hecate to help me with something to do with shadow work, she will always present something in that meditation. And I will often use a tarot card to maybe confirm something or ask, well, what do I do with this information? How do I work this new information into my life? So I may have come to a realization, for example, quite recently, that I've got this thing about time, and that there's a belief that I've had ever since I can remember that there's not enough time, and so consequently I'm always feeling like I don't have enough time to do things. And so that's something that I became aware of, and something that I have to change in my belief system, because it's not a fun belief to have. So working with Hecate is wonderful at doing things like that. And so I would ask the cards, well, what do I need to do to understand this, to what do I need to do to embrace this, or what do I do with this information, essentially? And this was actually a case where I got the Magician card. So I'm thinking, okay, I've got the Magician card here in regards to my beliefs about not having enough time. What energy is the Magician card going to help me with? And as I meditated on the card and allowed that card's energy to merge with my own energy and become the inner magician, I realize and remember that as the witch, as the magician, I have the ability to change my mind, to change my thoughts, to change my perceptions, and create time. That the time, whether I have enough time or I don't, is of my own creation. And to take back that power and realize that it's just a belief that I have, and that if I do want an abundance of time, then it's simply a matter of reprogramming myself to understand that I do have an abundance of time and really step into that magician energy of taking on that discernment of the magician and the power of the magician to say, I stand in my power to know that I have plenty of time and create that time. Another thing that I find is great about working with the tarot for a daily practice is if I do want to take on some qualities or energy. I might be feeling a bit sort of very average that day. I might not have had enough sleep or whatever. And so I may ask the tarot, what kind of qualities could I take on today that will help me? Either help me in my shadow work, help me in my business, or help me with what it is that I'm doing today. And so the tarot may present me with a card. So it might be the High Priestess card, for example, where I have to step into that High Priestess energy and embody that energy, for example. Or it could be another card, and then I will work with that energy. If you do these practices and you get cards like I explained the Tower, for example, like if you did ask that question and you got the Tower, it could be like, well, I don't know if I want to embody that. There's always an aspect to a card that's positive and an aspect of a card that's going to give you solutions to things. And in this case, you've got the lightning bolt. So maybe in this card, you're being required to be that lightning bolt, to be the one that breaks through the false structure of the Tower. Or you may be somebody who does need to jump ship. You might need to jump ship out of a situation that's about to explode in your life in some way. You know, maybe there's going to be something might go on in your workplace, and it might be time for you to leave, for example, and look for another job, but so that you can get out maybe before, you know, everything goes pear-shaped, that kind of thing. If you get the Devil card, for example, you can be looking at what's the message of the Devil card, and that's usually about fear and the fact that we have a tendency through our illusory thinking and the way that we've been conditioned to believe that the material world is really a material world, that it's not an energetic world at all, that we don't have any power, and we let that ego fear control us and we act out of fear. And so looking at that card as a quality to embody, it may be asking you to look at how you're chained to your fear and to take those chains off and release yourself from that fear, for example. Feel into what that card may be asking you to do. It can be various different things for different people. It might be asking you to take control of your fear. Look at where your fear is coming from and look at ways of becoming the master of your fear. So there's all of the cards, no matter whether they're perceived to be negative or positive, can be teachers in your life on a daily basis. And if you do want to become really awesome at reading the tarot, not just as a daily practice, but also for spreads, and if you want to read for other people as well, do enroll in the Confident Tarot Reader course. This is a 7-module course that I have for you to learn to read the tarot using your intuition and your knowledge. I've got 3 different payment levels on this now, so you can actually do a really inexpensive monthly payment now over a longer period of time. So do check that out, the Confident Tarot Reader. There's a link in the description field below this video. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I am Sandra from MysteryWitchSchool.com. Blessed be.